Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm here for the match review of Lazio against AC Milan. Match I finished moments ago at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome, with the scoreline being 1-1. Goals coming in from Biglia just moments away from the halftime whistle through a penalty shot. And the goal for Milan was scored by Suso 5 minutes away from the full-time whistle. Poor performance, but good result, decent result, I have to say, for Milan, despite the way that they were playing. And I have to say that, Lazio did get a lot of chances today, and they weren't capable of finishing those chances. So if you take a look at the whole situation, given the fact that Milan played pretty poorly to allow all those chances to Lazio, and on the other hand, we simply didn't do enough to get on the score sheet, and we really didn't test their goalkeeper that much. I think that a point is more than a decent result tonight. Once again, due to the level of performance that we actually had. Whether we did enough, simply, I don't think so. But we also have to recall that we did have a very decimated squad with a lot of players that don't normally play or start matches. And I think that kind of showed today the lack of experience in this team, the lack of togetherness that sometimes these players that don't play as much seem to lack when they're actually called upon. But other than that, I cannot be too fully disappointed. At the end of the day, we do have the better head-to-head record with Lazio for the season, in case we do actually end up tying with them on points at the end of the season. But other than that, at the same time, we didn't really allow Lazio to increase their gap between us and them in the standings. So at the end of the day, it might be 2 points lost. But once again, with the lack of performance, with the way that we played, I see this as 1 point earned. Also, given the fact that we scored with just a few minutes remaining in the game. Speaking about particular events, of course, Lazio scored their only goal through a penalty shot, and a lot of debate was stirred up when this call was made by the referee. I thought that simply there was no contact and Immobile fell down or dove quite easily. I don't think Donnarumma really even touched Immobile, to be honest with you. But the referee and the goal line referee there had different ideas. From the initial look of it, I actually thought that Donnarumma had clipped Gomez instead of Immobile, so I don't really see as to how that would have been a penalty shot. But, the referee still gave that penalty shot, and Biglia converted to make it 1-0 just before halftime. Milan themselves had a few opportunities to get a penalty shot, in my opinion. One in particular, the one in which Abate was pushed over by Lulic, I think it was. That should have been a penalty shot. You could just see that the Lazio player had no intention whatsoever of getting to the ball, and simply was going for the man itself and nothing else. So that should have been a penalty shot not given by the referee, and the penalty shot that was given by the referee to Lazio shouldn't have been one. But other than that, those were the particular events that I wanted to pay a little extra attention to. Like I said, Lazio created really a lot today. But unfortunately for them, their finishing was absolutely awful. They really weren't able to get any end product at the end of the day. And that, to me, is pretty much the motive as to why they dropped points today, because they had more than enough chances to get a win today. Donnarumma was once again stellar. I think he made about 9 or 10 saves. But obviously speaking, once again, Donnarumma proving to be the GOAT of this team, the greatest of all time, because simply he's always there in the right moments, in the right situations to save Milan from losing. Just like we saw against Bologna with 2 or 3 very crucial saves tonight. He had more to do, but at the end of the day, his saves once again proved to be determinant for the result. Speaking about the defense, I want to speak about their player performances as well. We saw a lot of unfamiliar faces today. Zapata and Gomez were the center back pairing, of course, due to the injury of Romagnoli and the suspension of Paletta. So we saw players that didn't normally play. Overall, from the defense, I have to say that they did quite a decent job, especially in the first half. I really liked how they were playing close to their opponents, not giving much space, especially to guys like Felipe Anderson, Immobile, or even Keita Balde. They were really staying close to them, limiting their options. And in the end, for the most part, they got the job done in that first half. In the second half, they did have more difficulty, also due to the fact that the midfield wasn't as present as in that first half. And what I mean by that, if you guys took a look at the match in the first half, the midfield was really helping out the defense. They were sitting a bit more back when Lazio had the possession, whereas in the second half they were moving a bit more forward, which could be explainable as we were seeking that equalizer. But at the same time, it really wasn't giving any certainty to the defense, and more times than not, Lazio found a very easy time to filter balls through that midfield, and pretty much which ended up as a lot of chances which Lazio weren't able to finish. But that was pretty much the main difference between the link up with the defense and the midfield from the first half to the second half. So definitely the defense was a lot more exposed in that second half due to the midfield playing a bit more forward, and also losing really a lot of balls, which dictated the Lazio counterattacks. But about individual performances, Abate, once again, he does have that work ethic, he does use his speed, but going forward, his crosses are almost never perfect. He very much lacks in that regard. We've seen him do this game after game, but a lot of times, you know, Keita Balde got past him, and he really wasn't capable to cope up with him. Zapata and Gomez, overall, they did a pretty good job together. I think they were pretty solid. A lot of people were giving them stick, and their expectations weren't too high, like mine. But they actually proved us wrong. I think they had a decent match. Gomez, I think he got a bit lucky in one instance in the second half where that should have been a free kick to Lazio. But other than that, you know, I really cannot complain too much about Zapata and Gomez. The only thing I could really mention that I didn't like about them was at times, specifically in that second half, they were giving way too much space to Immobile. And I think that he was breaking through them way too easily, and he was getting through on target. Fortunately for us, he didn't get on the score sheet, but I think Paletta and Romagnoli could have done a bit better job to contain Immobile. Vangioni, once again, just I have to praise the guy for not getting much playing time, and he actually once again showed a very strong work ethic. He knows he needs to do as much as he could to gain his position. Of course, there's other players currently competing for that role besides him, and that is, of course, De Sciglio and Antonelli, but they're both out on injury, so Vangioni is taking their place. But he had a pretty decent performance in general. The only thing I found him lacking a bit in was a sense of positioning. Many times he was out of position, and I think it was Felipe Anderson was having such an easy time getting past him. Even though Vangioni did recover, those runs from Felipe Anderson were still pretty evident. Speaking about the midfield, Poli, I think, needs to be rewarded today, because even though he didn't do much in terms of creating ideas, he did win a lot of balls, and I think Poli was possibly the better player in that midfield today. Of course, before Jose Sosa came in. Other than that, I really didn't like Locatelli. Locatelli was way too invisible to me, and rightfully so. Montella took him out for Jose Sosa. Jose Sosa came in. He had a very positive performance. Provided the assist to Suso for that equalizer goal. And overall, he just looked a lot more comfortable than Locatelli, making accurate passes, better movements, and so forth. Locatelli, unfortunately, today was a big no-no for me. Paslic as well. I think that uh, sometimes he gave way too many balls away, and also he was pretty invisible. Besides one moment in that first half where he tried to set up Delufeo, but unfortunately for him, there really was no end product to that. As for the attacking line, today we saw Delufeo, Ocampos, and Suso. Of course, Suso didn't do much in the game as a whole today. Really, I was expecting more from Suso to be more involved, but he was pretty invisible throughout the whole game. In those last 10 minutes, though, he really sparked up. He did the unthinkable. He scored the equalizer out of nothing. He was just a revived player. And I spoke about it in the live stream watch along. You need these type of players to solve situations, complicated situations like today. And he did just that. And that's why a player like Suso is just so important to have in this team. Delufeo was preferred to Bacca and Lapadula today, starting as a false 9. And I think, he actually did a quite good job. I really liked how he was pressuring the defense and many times forced them into making mistakes. I think he did a good performance altogether. He could have done a bit more, but overall, Milan's performance as a whole wasn't good enough today. And, we just cannot look at individual performances, but the whole performance as a whole. I think Delufeo, however, passed the test, and he should be starting games. Maybe not from the middle, like we saw today, but definitely from the left side. Ocampos, unfortunately, didn't impress me at all today. In the first half, he was interchanging roles between himself and Delufeo. Sometimes we saw Ocampos moving to the middle. Other times we saw Delufeo playing there. Anyways, they were interchanging roles, and I saw that as a nice thing to see. I think it was good, but for the actual performance, Ocampos didn't really impress me that much. He did make a lot of mistakes, and if you want to gain a starting spot in the team, for debut performance, this is definitely not what Montella wanted to see. Lapadula, when he came on as a sub today, I think he did well. He did very good to contain the ball. I think he had one real opportunity today where I think it was Jose Sosa fed him through on goal, but unfortunately his first touch wasn't good enough, so he wasn't capable of getting anything out of that. Really didn't get too many balls played to him that could have led to goals, but he did see a lot more playing time than he usually does. 30 minutes for him about was the amount of minutes that he played today. So I'm happy that he's seen more playing time. I'm happy that Montella is considering making these substitutions earlier than expected, or that we usually see, and I hope that he does continue down this road. I think if Lapadula does get the start in next games, I think he could score. And personally, I would have Delufeo playing on the left, Lapadula in the middle, and Suso on the right. That's pretty much it for the player performances. Let me know what you guys think about the player performances in the comment section below. On that note, I will be opening up the Skype calls, so if you guys have anything to say, if you guys want to give your input, the line is now yours. You guys could call in and give in your thoughts, and we'll be having that in just a short while. So I'm currently online. If you guys want to talk about anything that you saw in the match today, this is your chance to do so. Kyle Lorio says we didn't have anyone sent off today, so that's a plus. Ocampos was terrible, says Leonard. Mark Job says Ocampos was poor, but he was also out of position in his first start against a strong team. Abhinav says, yeah, Suso definitely looked tired. He needs a rest, and he did look tired. But I think that, the touch of brilliance that we saw from Suso today is just unbelievable. But we do have a call from Jeffrey, so I'm going to go and put him through the line. Hi, Jeffrey. How are you doing today?
I feel a little sick, but otherwise I'm okay.
What did you make out of the result? Was it the just result? I know that you probably don't agree with the score line, but given the circumstances that we were in today, And given the fact that we did play pretty poorly, I think it's fair to say that the result was pretty decent.
This is exactly what I thought was going to happen yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that we were going to come out, not do much in the first half, score in the last 10 minutes, and take a 1 point, and we would be happy with that. But I'm not happy with 1 point. We need a win. We need to go on an inter-type run, but they were like undefeated for like 12 games or something.
Mm-hmm.
They closed the gap on us from like 9 points. Now they're ahead of us by like what, 3 or 4?
Yeah, Lazio's ahead of us by 3 points, but yeah, we could have tied. We could have been on the same position as Lazio. Actually, we would have been in a better position given if we won this match because we won the first one, so we would have had a better head-to-head record. But I fully agree with you. I mean, this was a game that we had to win, but we knew it was going to be a difficult game from the first moment. And frankly speaking, I think a lot of people were expecting us to lose today because of the selections that were made in the lineup. Obviously, we had no choice to put these players due to injuries or suspensions. But what I'm trying to say to you is, with the lineup that was pretty much less experienced than we usually see, do you think we should have still done more than just a point, or you think it's okay?
With the lineup, I think it's fine. I mean, we did it. We didn't do anything. We were lucky they missed, I don't know how many chances.
Mm-hmm.
They just put one more away. We know we weren't going to score two. We only had one in us because of the way our players looked. They looked dejected and tired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I fully agree with you. And if you take a look at the statistics there, Lazio like 23 goal attempts compared to Milan's 9. Even though a lot of them were from outside the box, really, I think the team, if you look at the two teams and you would have to choose one team that's coming out as a loser tonight, I would probably say it's Lazio for all those chances that they missed. To be honest,
I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm. Because to me, I just don't understand how their finishing was so poor, and they just simply weren't capable to put the ball in the back of the net with all those chances and with all those exciting players that they have, like Immobile or Felipe Anderson or Keita. You know, they should have definitely put the ball in the back of the net more than just once. Speaking of which, the goal that they did score, I wanted your take on that penalty shot. What did you think of it?
Like you said before, I thought Donnarumma clicked our own player.
Mm-hmm.
How's that a penalty? I don't. Now you got to give him a benefit of a doubt. If you think he looks like he did it, you got to point to the spot. But replay shows he doesn't even come near close to touching him. He dived.
That's exactly it, and it wasn't the first time that that Immobile did it. I mean, we saw it over the course of the first half. He dove so many times, and you know, as a referee, you should also take a look at that. If the player is trying as much as possible to win himself a penalty shot, you have to give the goalkeeper the benefit of the doubt there. And in my opinion, Donnarumma is such a humble guy that he wouldn't be bullshitting about him either touching Immobile or not. Like I said a few games ago when Paletta tripped Quagliarella from Sampdoria in the box, that was so blatant. But when you look at a penalty shot like this, a decision like this in such an important game, you know, the referee needs to do a better judgment than that. And considering the fact that the goal line referee was there too, and he didn't see that, he was just a few centimeters away from the action, he didn't see that. You know, it's just quite unexplainable, to be honest.
Well, my question is, why is there that ref there in the first place? Isn't this part of a job to make sure that there's a goal? And if the ref can't, it's a penalty, that's his job. You say, this is a goal, this is a penalty, that's not a penalty. If that ref's not doing it, why do we need him?
Well, that's the thing, and especially now that there's the goal line technology thing. Simply speaking, I don't understand what the importance of these goal line referees are if they don't even, more times than not, make the right decisions. And I'm not only speaking about Milan, but I've seen it in so many teams where they were just simply there doing absolutely nothing, and these guys were getting paid for it. But anyways, that's a whole different topic, a topic which I could go on forever, to be honest with you. So, Jeffrey, next game we are playing Fiorentina, another tough competitor. We are finally going back to the San Siro. Uh, Maybe something to look forward to, or you think it's going to be the same old case like we saw against Lazio today?
Uh, Paletta, isn't he suspended for that game? Isn't
Uh,
Kuchka suspended for those?
no, Paleta and Kuchka are only suspended for tonight's game. They will be back by
Okay,
for the
well
Fiorentina game.
then if they both play, I say close win, maybe 1-0, 2-1, something like that.
I just hope that being at home, we actually do get the result because Fiorentina's. I think they're 1 point behind us at the moment, and we need to keep up the pace with the teams above us like Lazio, Atalanta, and Inter. These teams are getting wins every week, and we're just settling for either ties or losses more times than not. So we need to keep up the gap. We need to keep up the race with these teams. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, Jeffrey. Thank you for calling in, man.
All right. You have a good day now.
Same to you. All right, so you heard it there from Jeffrey. He wasn't too happy with the performance. I wasn't too. Um, and I do agree with him. He said it many times. We need to get the 3 points. We need to get the 3 points. Uh, Unfortunately, they didn't come, but I honestly can't complain with the draw today, given the circumstances that we were in. We're getting another call here from Abed. Let's see what he has to say. Hi, Abed. How are you today, man? The connection's a bit shaky, Abed. I can't really hear you that well. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not good. I'm gonna have to hang up on this one. I'm sorry. Make sure your connection is good, guys, before you do give us a call. We're having another call here from Oze. Yeah, Oze, what's happening, man?
Hi, Gio.
Yeah, what's happening?
Pretty decent match, to be honest. Not the greatest again, but exactly like the game against Bologna, we needed a goal, a last-minute goal, and I mean, we got it. That's what counts.
Mm-hmm. But
Um,
Oze, I wanted to ask you a question. Did you really think that we were gonna get an equalizer today? Like, given the way that we were playing and everything, because today was just awful, really awful.
again, awful. This is awful. No, I didn't thought that. But I really like the goal of Suso. That is fantastic, Suso.
Mm-hmm.
Suso is like the Messi of like
Milan.
Sunday league football. It's just like give me the ball, I'm going to score. Boom, 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 goal.
Well, the thing is with Suso, today simply, and I don't know about you, but I didn't see him being too involved in the game, especially in that first half. We did see him a bit more in the later stages of the game, but I really, Suso was really man-marked today. I don't know if you saw, but a
I
lot of
think that
players were
what
on him.
happened. I think that what happened today is the lack of chemistry between the trident
Mm.
of forwards.
Mm-hmm.
I think that trident I don't like it because of chemistry. I think that I didn't see passes through between them, and they didn't create more chances between them. I think that Baka or slash Lapadula can do a great job because of chemistry, not
Yeah.
because of what they have done.
Well, that's exactly what I was saying before. Personally, instead of playing Ocampos, which, by the way, was absolutely terrible today,
Hmm.
I would keep Delufe on the left, Suso on the right, and I would put Lapadula there in the middle. That's pretty much the best option I think we have right now.
Yeah, I'm talking about the and the chance that had Ocampos with
Mm-hmm.
Deulofeu. Then
Yes,
Deulofeu
yes, yes, yes.
removed the ball. That was crucial. And let
Mm-hmm.
me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a team that doesn't create too much chances or too much clear chances, when you have a chance, take it.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it. In soccer, it's a law to say whoever gives the most mistakes is the loser of the match. That
exactly,
is it.
exactly,
The team that gives most mistakes in the pitch will lose or will be not deserve the 3 points like
exactly,
Lazio.
exactly.
I mean, Lazio didn't know how to finish, so they lost. That
They lost points.
They lost. They
Yeah,
lost points
yeah.
that they deserve.
Oh, I completely agree with you, Jose. I mean, Lazio, like I said before, have only themselves to blame for not picking up the 3 points today. They had all the chances in the world, and really all those missed chances translate in them losing points today because they could have put that game to bed a long time before, and simply they didn't take their chances. Milan, on the other hand, getting back to what you said there about Ocampos, he should have definitely passed that to Deulofeu. I honestly don't understand why he didn't. And this goes back to the thing for a team that doesn't create too many chances like Milan. When we do get the chances, we have to make sure to finish them.
Yeah, and it has happened even last week against Sampdoria. De Lufeu had all the time and space in the world to finish against Sampdoria. I'm talking about, and he hit the post. That's a goal. And if we don't take it, then we lose. That's it.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. All right, Jose, thank you for calling in, man.
Okay, thank you, Gio.
Okay, bye. And I completely agree with that. You know, the team that misses more chances or makes more mistakes is the one that's gonna lose. I'm gonna give in another call now. I think Dario wanted to speak to us. Of course, the moderator, in which you guys are obviously know him by. Dario, what's happening?
Yes, Gio, how are you?
Not too bad. Obviously, we did get a decent point. I couldn't complain too much. Better than a loss. At the end of the day, I wanted the 3 points, but as I said, better than a loss.
Yeah, and let's just say today in the first 20-30 minutes, I was on an actual phone call, and I just saw Lazio getting chance after chance, and Donnarumma making some crazy miracles. I don't know if you remember the first half, the first 20-30 minutes, on the line saves, point blank saves. You know, let's just say it was Donnarumma's match tonight.
Oh, definitely. I think he was. I would probably give him the man of the match award today for all those saves that he made. Absolutely insane, insane.
The match could have been, you know, either 1-0 Milan or like 4-0 Lazio. You know what I mean? It was that type of match where Milan could have won if, you know, that was first off a big referee mistake on the penalty shot. So Milan could have definitely won. However, I can't complain because Donnarumma made some miracles and you know, and Suso just unbelievable goal. You know, so I'm happy with the tie. You know, it could have been definitely worse if it wasn't for Donnarumma.
Yeah, well, definitely worse. I think just like we saw against Bologna, you know, he came to the rescue today with some very big saves, which pretty much gave us the result. Once again, just like Bologna, if he didn't make those saves, more chances than not, we weren't going to get anything out of it. But speaking about the whole team performance, today we did see a lot of changes. We saw Deulofeu playing as a false nine in respect to either playing Bacca or Lapadula, which, personally speaking, this was an hypothesis that many people were suggesting to see Deulofeu playing in the middle there. And even though I was considering this option, I wasn't personally thinking that Montella will ever imply it on our lineup. But today we did see that. We saw Deulofeu taking Bacca's place, and personally I thought that Lapadula would have taken it, but he was snubbed as well. Obviously we saw him later on. But I don't know about you, but Deulofeu's work ethic, whether it's on the wing, whether he's playing as a false nine, speaks volumes. And I mean, it's so much better than Bacca. Bacca, the guy was walking, and personally speaking, I don't even think we did get very few chances today, but if Bacca was on the pitch, I think we would have got even less.
That's right. So it's basically that same concept of when like Balotelli was playing, where he would not move in the front. That's basically what Bacca is reminding me of. So I definitely would always play Deulofeu instead of Bacca. You know, great work ethic. As far as the changes on the team, of course, I believe Romagnoli was still injured.
Yeah, of course, Romagnoli.
Right?
Yeah, he's gonna be out for a while.
So you know, Zapata was playing, which was kind of at the cause of that penalty shot. Let's just say it was terrible marking.
Well, Gustavo Gomez was
Also,
more on him, to be honest with you.
yeah, it was both of them. It was both of
Yeah.
them.
Hmm.
It was both of them. Zapata was the pass easily intercepted, could have easily intercepted, and Gustavo Gomez was marking him. Also speaks volumes. Us missing Bonaventura in the mid. Um, just you could definitely tell a difference that there's not that playmaker. I mean,
Yeah.
as the previous caller said, Suso is like the Messi of Milan, but definitely Suso needs to do a miracle when Bonaventura isn't playing. You know what I mean? It's only him really to be a playmaker.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I also had a question concerning players that should at least be playmakers, or maybe not really playmakers, but at least have an influence in the ideas. I'm speaking about
Right.
Locatelli today, which
Yeah.
once again
Today was
was a
poor.
disappointing performance, a very
Yeah, it
disappointing
was.
performance from Locatelli. And you know what? Like, yes, last game he was sacrificed because of the red cards, the injuries. He came off at halftime. Today, once again, 50 minutes. Maybe
I did
I
not.
don't. To be honest with you, I don't know if it's because he's not getting enough playing time. He's not getting consistency in that sense. But Jose Sosa, when he came on today, he made a point. He proved a point.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were actually giving stick to this guy. They were saying that he wasn't the player that they hoped to be at the beginning,
Yeah, including myself.
and myself
Today,
as well. But today
yeah,
he did very, very well. And I think almost every pass was very good today. He saw things that Locatelli wasn't seeing. He
yeah.
provided options. He made a pass to Suso. Going forward, Locatelli, first of all, he wasn't ever supposed to be a starter in this team from the beginning of the season. He was never expected to continue for the full entire season being a starter in that position.
That's right. So
What do you think?
so Locatelli, a lot of people kind of boasted him a bit too much because he scored some great goals. Um, that if they weren't scored, maybe it would value him less. Or however, he's still young. He needs to grow. Still, he still needs to, as you say, he doesn't get a lot of playing time, but he still needs to grow as a player. So, I can't give him too much stick for that. However, yes, today was very disappointing for someone his caliber.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you know what it is? Sometimes it's hard to play without Bonaventura. Meaning, like, he helps out, he makes other people look better, type of thing. You know what I mean? Because other people have to do less of a job because he is basically the ultimate playmaker on the team. So, you know,
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But at the same time, Locatelli is expected to be the feeder
to
as well.
play good. Yeah, of course,
You
yeah.
cannot just be there and sitting around. But anyways,
No.
like you said, I think it is a whole learning process. It's gonna take time for him to actually get used to playing professional football on a consistent basis. This is new to him. It's obviously his first season. But I think once again, like I said it with Baka, if the guy wasn't performing, just like Baka wasn't performing in recent games, Locatelli wasn't performing in recent games,
Yeah.
Montella is finally making those substitutions and giving a chance to other guys that could fill in the roles of those players, like we saw today with Deulofeu, Lapadula, and also Jose Sosa. So I'm very happy under that aspect that
Yeah.
Montella's finally opening up his brain and bringing in these fresh ideas, these new ideas
Yeah.
to the team.
It was just ridiculous when he would be subbing Niang and making just ridiculous subs, honestly. You know what I mean? So I'm happy he's opening his mind and finally doing some good changes as well.
Yeah, let's see how it's gonna go towards the future matches here. We have some very big matches. Someone is actually mentioning how much of an easy schedule our competitors have next week. If I could find that comment
Yeah, I
once
saw that.
again.
I saw
Uh,
that. Atalanta, Crotone, I believe it was like Inter. I don't remember. I don't recall exactly who Inter is playing, but yes, they have an easy
well,
next week.
Well, I'm gonna have a look at it myself. We're playing Fiorentina next week, and that's definitely a must-win for the
our
race
standings.
for the race of the Europa League. But yeah, Inter's playing Bologna. Bologna, we were laughing about it yesterday, Dario, when we were watching Bologna. Just an embarrassing team altogether.
It's ridiculous, you know. Ridiculous.
Just a ridiculous team altogether. Atalanta's playing Crotone at home, so that's pretty much a given win for Atalanta. And Lazio's playing Empoli away. Empoli might be able to get something there, but they're a very inconsistent team, so you just never know.
That's right.
Point is, Milan needs to win against Fiorentina and needs to keep up with these other teams because more times than not, these teams will probably get victories next weekend.
Yep.
All right, Dario, on that note, thank you for calling in and thank you for donating. Lots of donations today on the channel.
Would like to encourage everyone to donate to Rossoneri TV for the great work that you're putting in, and hopefully everybody does by example. I'll be donating every match, depending on goals and how Milan do, and I suggest everybody does the same for every goal or something that Milan does would be great for you, right? You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's a very good initiative that you've taken today because. Like you said, maybe if we reach certain objectives, you might be able to give some incentives like that. And, if you guys, like I said, if you guys are willing to put donations in, it will only help the channel deliver better content on a daily basis. Like I said, I do put in a lot of work on this channel on a daily basis, making videos of 30 minutes or more every day. If you guys sum that up for a month, that is 900 minutes of work just on videos. That is without all the preparation that goes behind it. So if you guys are feeling like supporting the channel, you know what to do. You can do that by clicking on the $ icon, which is right next to the smiley face where you put in your comment
on the chat,
on the chat, and you can just donate whatever amount you want, even if it's $1. Anything will be appreciated. So thank you, Dario, for calling in again. Thank you.
No problem, and I would like to say hi to all my fans on the chat. All right, Giorgio.
All right, take care, man. So you heard it there from Dario, the moderator. Once again, guys, thank you all for joining me. This is going to wrap up the match review. The final score was Lazio 1, AC Milan 1. Goals coming in from Biglia for Lazio and Suso for AC Milan. Thank you for watching once again, not only this match review, but also the live stream watch along. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. And of course, subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with everything going on at AC Milan on a daily basis. This has been Gio, signing off, and as always, Forza Milan.